Welcome back to another episode of the Peak Signing Agents Podcast with me, your host, Derek Van Otten, or as my friends call me, DVO. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. I am, if you're watching this on either Spotify or YouTube, you might see I'm got a lot of my table in front of me. My head is almost chopped off in this video because we've been talking about starting fresh, starting new, and I just want to share with you guys what I carry in my notary bag. So maybe some of these items you might have already. I just want to share with you what I have. Maybe this will help you. Maybe this will help you kind of get your notary bag ready for the new year. So on this episode, I am recording still in the back of the mobile office, just outside my home on this episode. And I want to share with you guys what I carry. But real quick, before I share with you that, please take a moment and subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow, leave a rating. It greatly benefits me and the podcast. And also, if you can help support our sponsors. Our sponsors have been great to work with for me, and you click on my affiliate links. You supporting them helps support the podcast, so that would greatly benefit me. We have 3 supporters. We have right now, one is the loan signing system. So if you're looking for the best training course to become a peak signing agent, I can't highly recommend enough the loan signing system course. It's great information on how to go through the presentation, go through the documents, explain it. There's mentorships in there for signing agents. Great there. A lot of great information there. Great trainings as well. Also, Complete Notary Mentorship, another sponsor. This is where you can learn how to make more money because you are a notary. So there's ways to make money besides loan signings, and that will teach you how to make money, how successful people are doing it, how they're making money. So that is all there. And then also Notary Act. If you are in one of the 45 states that allow an electronic journal, I can't recommend it enough as well. This makes your job simpler to just scan IDs, input information, they write on your phone. It's secure. You don't have to worry about damaging your journal, losing your journal. It's all stored there. You can log in, and just makes the job easier. So those are our 3 sponsors. Please click on my affiliate links, help support them, and that supports the podcast. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about it. What's in my notary journal? I keep, and I hope you do this too, but you should have a separate journal than maybe like your everyday carry bag. So next to me over here, again, you're more than welcome to listen to this episode, but you can watch it on Spotify or YouTube, this episode, and you can see everything. But this is my notary bag, and then I keep a separate bag. In my separate bag, I will do another episode on that. This is kind of what I carry as an entrepreneur, as an everyday business person. This is what I carry in my everyday bag. One thing that I'm not going to show you that it is in my everyday bag, because I am a mobile notary signing agent, I do carry my computer here. That's how I do my scan backs. So I won't show you that part, but it's in my everyday carry. But however, what is in my notary bag? First of all, my notary bag is a little wide. I believe it's 18 inches wide. I believe is the specs of my notary bag. Mine's a simple one. This is just happens to be a Kenneth Cole bag or an attaché, whatever you want to call it. It's a mix of nylon and leather, so I know it's going to be sturdy. It's going to last me a while. This notary bag has actually lasted me the longest of my other notary bags. The handles are a little beat up, so please don't judge me on the handles of my notary bag, because this is a very used bag, but it has maintained. This has maintained me for quite a few years now. Just the handles are a little beat up, but that's okay. That's just the handles. The bag itself is in great shape, but I purposefully got an 18-inch bag because of legal size documents. So, I mean, legal size paper is 8.5 by 14. So I figured if I went with 18-inch, that would give me plenty of room in here to hold all of the documents. So what is in my notary bag? Let me show you. In my notary bag, there is this front pocket, very small, very thin. I only keep a couple things in here. The things that I keep in here is a face mask. So I know we are beyond the COVID right now. However, I do keep a mask in here in case I'm at someone's house and they prefer me to wear a mask. I want to have my own mask. And I have gone to a few hospitals and what do you call those? Assisted living homes, and they require masks. So I do keep a mask in here just in case I get in any of those situations. So I keep that in there. And also I keep shoe covers. So these are shoe covers. I got the idea from going to an open house. Someone was selling their house. There was an open house. They didn't want people trekking through the house and getting the carpets all dirty because they're trying to sell it. So they had these little slip-on little booties that you put over your shoes to keep the floors clean. And I thought that would be a great idea to keep in my notary. Well, actually, I thought this would be great to have at our house because at our house we do want people to take off their shoes, but we understand people don't feel comfortable taking off their shoes, so we got these little shoe covers that I thought these would be great to keep in my notary bag. So when I'm at a signing and they're like, "Hey, can you take off your shoes?" I don't really want to unlace and take off my shoes and then re-lace up my boots. So I carry these. I just slip these on and off, and it's much faster. Again, my bag is going to be things to make things efficient. So that's in my little front pocket. Now, there's a couple things that you are not going to find in my notary bag here. And it's because my state doesn't require it. Now, you might be in a state that requires these. So these two items we're going to talk about, they may be in your notary bag, but they are personally not in my notary bag. The first thing is fingerprints. In my state, I am not required to do fingerprints, so I don't do fingerprints. But if your state requires it, obviously you're going to have a fingerprint little, thumb or whatever it is that they put their finger on. I do see people that they do recommend doing inkless, I believe is what it's called. And so basically it doesn't leave a black residue on their fingers. It's they kind of, touch it, put it in their journal, and the journal does leave the impression of the fingerprint, but it doesn't leave it on their fingers. So if I was in a state that required that, I would have that. The other thing you're not going to see in here is a notary journal. So my state does not require a notary journal. However, I do think it's important to keep a notary journal. But like I just mentioned, one of our sponsors, I use an e-journal. It just makes my life easier. I just scan the front and back of their IDs. All the information's there. I just click on a couple buttons. I'm acknowledging a deed. They sign, done. Makes my job easier. So those two things will not be in my notary journal, but an actual, or my notary bag, I should say. But there was there was a notary journal in the beginnings, just not anymore. So I showed you the front pocket. It's just a face mask and shoe covers, boot covers. Now I'll open up this front little pocket. And I'll kind of show it there a little bit. So I've got this front pocket that I've opened up, and there's another little inside pocket. I'm going to zip that. It's a flat pocket, so I only keep a couple things in here. First thing I have in here is this folder. It's just a basic folder that you probably would get, if you remember in school, you have to keep like your documents, your papers in a little thin folder. That's what this is. I mean, this was literally like 20 cents at Staples or Office Depot. I mean, speaking of that, you can get like notary bags and other discounts through the Staples program that the loan signing system has. They have a great Staples program to get discounts on things like notary bags. And I'll do my best to try to find items and links and put those in the description if you're interested. Anyway, back to this little folder. In this folder are just loose certificates of acknowledgments and jurats, or whatever other items. I just download these directly from my state website. In my state in Utah, it's notary.utah.gov. And I just know they're going to be state approved jurats and acknowledgments. So I just go download them straight from there and print these off. So these are in my notary journal. My notary bag. I also carry a clipboard. And a lot of these items also, you guys, I get them at like the dollar store, like Dollar Tree, for example. Great place to find discount or low cost items. Like, for example, clipboards. Got this for $1 at Dollar Tree. Okay. I carry these because sometimes you never know where you're going to be signing. Like, again, I might be at an assisted living facility, and that's where I use my clipboard a lot because they can't, move around a lot. They're usually like maybe in a recliner or in a bed, or if I'm at a hospital. So the clipboard is a great source for just like, that hard surface that they can sign on. So I have a clipboard that I've got. It's on this pocket, and then I've got this little thing. This is a calendar. This is a cool little calendar that my friend May, she's an ambassador from Ohio for the loan signing system, and she gave this to me. She created these. This is a cool little date reminder. So it has all the months of the year, January through December, and then you just kind of flip it over to the right date, and then the year 2023, 2024. It has a few years in here, so I can use this for a few years. And this is just a great little stand. It folds up flat, and then I can open it and put it right on the table. And I don't use this a ton, but again, if I'm at like an assisted living facility, this comes in handy because people forget the dates, and I can put this on the table, and there's a date right in front of them, even though people still have messed up on the dates. Anyway, that is also in my notary bag. So that's just in this little flat pocket here that I have. I'll close it up and go back to this main side pocket. And I like this bag because there's so many little pockets that I can keep things in. So let's go through it. One of the pockets it's like for business cards. And so I've got some business cards there, but I've also got this little item. If you're not watching, I'll explain it. It is a red rectangle. All right, so it's like this rectangle shape. It's very thin as paper, and there is another rectangle cut out in the middle. I got this idea from another loan signing system ambassador from Arizona, Irene Rueda, a friend of mine. She showed me this in her notary bag, and I thought this is a great idea. What this does, again, I use this mostly at assisted living facilities or hospitals. If they have a hard time seeing where to sign, you put this rectangle over the page and say you're just going to sign inside this rectangle. That's where they're going to sign. Now, she had, I think, a black one. I actually found this red one on Amazon. It was only a few dollars. I ordered it, and it's helped a lot. So if someone, again, maybe has very poor vision and they don't know where to sign, I pull this out and put it on the paper and say, just sign in this red rectangle. Right in the middle here is where you're going to sign, and it helps them to find out where to sign, especially if they have poor vision. They just see this big red rectangle, and I just put it over where the cutout is. That's where the signature line is. Say, just sign in this box. This is where you're going to sign. So this has been super helpful. I'll see if I can still find the link of this on Amazon, and I'll put that in the description. And then, like I said, of course, I've got business cards. Lots and lots of business cards, because if I feel it's important to leave a business card, to be honest with you, I don't leave a business card behind with everybody. But there's some instances where I feel like it might be important if they're an investor, if they work in the real estate industry, maybe the realtor is there, the mortgage officer's there, the escrow officer's there, or if I'm just out randomly marketing, I just want to make sure I have business cards on hand. So I keep a nice thick stack of business cards in my notary bag. So that's there as well. All right, let's continue. In this other pocket, I have Post-it notes in case I need to just put a reminder for myself, or if I'm going to mark a page for the signers. Maybe there's an important page that I want to kind of show them. Or maybe, for example, there's just going to be an additional signer there. They have to maybe only sign one page out of the whole thing, and I don't want to mix it up. So I just put this little Post-it note and just say, hey, this is the only page you need to sign, and you can stick around or take off, whatever you want to do. So I keep some Post-it notes there. I also have a little mini stapler. Again, Dollar Tree, got this mini stapler for $1. This is mostly for general notary work. If I just need to attach a loose certificate, in my state, it is required that it is attached. So I have to staple a loose certificate. But on mortgage documents, do not staple on mortgage documents. This is only for general notary work. So I've got a little mini stapler that I carry. Also, I've got some tape. Again, Dollar Tree. Got this little roll of Scotch tape. This is for if they want me to attach a voided check. That's the most I've ever really used tape for. Is I have to attach a voided check and they want it taped onto the page. Again, don't staple on mortgage documents. And I got some hand sanitizer. I'll kind of put this up to the camera. That actually has my logo on it, along with my phone number and website. This is just a little, I actually got these, I ordered these on Vistaprint. And it's just a way that I leave behind if I'm at like an office, like again, escrow office, title office, mortgage office, law firm, and it's just a good way for them to remember me. I'll leave this in maybe in their conference room, or I might give this as a just like a token, like, hey, thanks for having me come in. And or if I'm marketing, I'll just leave this little hand sanitizer. They're just little hand sanitizers, and it has my logo on it. So I got that from Vistaprint. So that is also in my notary bag, but also good to have hand sanitizer, right? I mean, that hand sanitizer is actually what I put on if I've been somewhere and I just feel. Sometimes you've been to a house, you've met people, you shook hands, and you just feel like I need some hand sanitizer. So I carry hand sanitizer in my notary bag that I use. Okay, then the rest in here are pens. Pens. A lot of blue pens. There are a couple black pens that I keep here, but 99% of the time I am using blue pens. If you are curious what pens I use right now, I am using just simple Bic blue pens. I mean, I think I got a box from Amazon, like a box of 100 or 200 for like $7, something like that. Really good deal. Again, if I can find the link, I'll put it in the description. And then I have a couple other gel pens. I personally like to use gel pens, but I got some with my logo on them as well. I give these out when I'm out marketing, or I leave them behind if I sign at a mortgage or title company or real estate office. I'll leave these pens behind. But I like to use gel pens, so I use them with signers. I usually just have them use these Bic pens. They keep them a lot of times, and that's fine because they were super cheap. If I don't feel like it's an investor that will use a lot of notary service, then I don't really use my pens. I got these hoping to do that, and I just found I was just spending a lot of money on them and not getting a big return back. So just as a heads up, that's just kind of how I felt. Didn't get a huge return on having promotional pens, leaving them with signers. So I don't, but a lot of blue pens. And then a lot of my clients, I'm not going to pull them out in this video, but a lot of my clients will have pens that they have in their office with their logos on them, and that's in a separate pocket. I carry a lot of those. Every time I go in to drop off documents, I'll take some pens if I don't have any, and I'll use if I'm signing for that company, I'll leave those pens, and if people want to keep them, great, they can keep them. And it's just my way to help kind of almost leave marketing material for my clients behind. That's kind of the goal behind that. I'm leaving marketing materials for my clients behind with the signers so that they can have those pens, and if they ever buy or refinance, they'll think of that title company. So that's just a way for me to help market my clients. So I'll take their pens with me, and I'll leave the pens behind. And I also have this stylus. So this is a Bluetooth stylus, and you can see it lights up here. And this is how I have clients sign my notary journal. So with, for example, one of my sponsors is Notary Act, and I've had them on the podcast. They can sign with their finger, sign with a random stylus that you might get. Again, you can get styluses from Dollar Tree again. But this is one that I bought. I used to use this as a note taking on my tablet. I would take notes with this Bluetooth stylus pen. But now I just keep it in my journal or in my notary bag and use this to sign my e-journal, because it actually helps them write their signature good. People are like, hey, I can actually read my signature. That way they're not touching my phone screen. I try to clean my phone screen often, but this is just an easier way for them to sign on my journal. So I use this stylus to do that. Now that's what's in this side pocket of my notary bag. I'm going to zip it up here. And again, if you're watching, you can kind of see it all displayed out here in the mobile office on my custom-made desk here. Now I'll open up the main compartment. Again, this is 18 inches. And there's only two things in here. One are my glasses. I wear glasses. All right. And so I don't wear them day to day, but especially when I'm reading paperwork, I need glasses, or else it's just too small, too hard for me to read. I'll get a headache. So I carry my glasses in my notary bag. And also, of course, you can't go without your stamp. You need your stamp, right? So here is my stamp. I keep this in the main bag here, because again, this is 18 inches wide. I've got plenty of room to put in my documents along with my glasses and my stamp, and that way they're not shuffling around. And that's all that I keep in the main bag, because obviously in this main bag, I'm going to keep documents for the signings. And I can probably hold in here comfortably in this particular bag about 3 sets. Again, I do print copies as well. So I do keep about 3 sets of documents in here. So I can do 3 signings and fit them into this one bag. And again, if you can see on the counter, I have lots of blue pens. So I don't run out of pens. And I keep some in the mobile office. I actually keep some pens in here. So if I do run out, I've got them as well. And if I needed to, I can always run to a Dollar Tree and just buy cheap pens. Now, they're not my favorite pens. Dollar Tree pens are not my favorite. But if I'm in a pinch, I could definitely go grab those. Or just go to, a store and just buy some. But anyway, that is in my notary bag. This is what you'll see in my notary bag as I pull up to my signings. All of this stuff is in my notary bag. It fits a lot of stuff in here. It works out well for me. But I am curious. Comment, send me a message, put in the comments, again, leave a review, but also tell me what am I missing? What have you found very beneficial to keep in your notary bag? So what do you keep in yours that I'm missing that you found very beneficial? Because if it can be beneficial for you, it might be beneficial for me and others. So please share. I'm very curious to see what other items people are carrying in their notary bag. Now, that ends this episode, but catch next week's episode because I'm going to share with you what is it that I keep in my everyday bag that I carry around with me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Talk to you in the next episode.